Hello, everyone. This is Kathy Bacon with What's Your Story? And tonight, I'm okay. The recording is on. Maybe I'm saying this twice. Here we go. This is Kathy Bacon with What's Your Story? And tonight, I have a very special guest that I'm going to tell you a little bit about. First of all, I want you all to know that I am now in Seattle. I was in Thailand for a year and a half, and I was broadcasting from there. And now I'm back in the States, in Seattle, at my daughter's, visiting family, giving everybody love and hugs and kisses. But I have to say, I very, very much miss Thailand. I loved everything about it. It really enhanced my life. You can find out what I'm doing with my videos that I'm doing on www.kathybacon.com. I am doing videos about how we did it. I've been asked to do that, so I'm putting those out every week. Check those out. My guest tonight, her information will be on there, www.kathybacon.com. Go there, check that out, and find out all the information you need to know. I just want to say that What's Your Story is a radio show and video, as you can see, about people and their stories. There's no judgment here. We don't judge anyone that comes on and what they're doing and how they're doing it, because we all have a very unique story to tell. And I, for one, love being able to host a platform that everyone can do that. So thank you so much for waiting around on me. I took a month off. I so appreciate that. I really want to let you know that your support means so much to me, because this show is not about me. It's about the people that come on and share their stories. And there's ups and downs, and there's all arounds. So thank you for being a part of What's Your Story? Before we meet my guest, I want to tell you a little bit about her. Kat Atwell is a Renaissance woman, and I am not kidding. Wait till you meet her. She has strong ties with the mental health advocacy community, having worked directly with such organizations at NAMI, Colorado, the Colorado Mental Health Network, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and This Is My Brave. She has served as a public speaker, show producer, host, fundraiser, and a board member. She fiercely advocates for people. With bipolar and anxiety disorder, and she encourages them to find their voices and share their stories and find the power to ask for help. As an individual living experience with several severe mental illness and someone who has lost a best friend to depression, alcoholism, and suicide, she feels it's her responsibility to give a voice to those who find themselves in similar situations. She loves to remind people that they are not alone. And when you see her, you will not feel alone. I promise you, you will not. Additionally, Kat is very involved in community efforts in and around Denver. She has had the honor of serving as MC for Ignite Denver since 2015, an organization that brings together individuals who want to share their stories, information, and passions on any number of topics. She's met people from all walks of life and helped them to overcome their fears of public speaking. One of the primary ways Kat thrives is through storytelling. So she's a perfect person to come on to What's Your Story this evening. I have all this information on www.kathybacon.com. It is a very long bio because she is a kick-ass woman. I'm not kidding. She does so much, and we're going to talk about it. So without further ado, I want you all to meet Kat Atwell. And that's my story right this moment. And there she is! Yay!
I didn't realize I was so
See, I told everyone how fun you were going to be, and I was right.
wine.
Yes. And if any of you out there would like to go and grab some wine, please do so, because we'll be here for a little while talking and Kat's engaging in some wine. So shouldn't we all? I think so.
I think so.
Thanks so much for being here. I love seeing your smiling face, and I love everything that you do, and you really inspire me. You really do.
That's flattering beyond words. Thank you. I'm stoked to be here.
Welcome. So, what are your passions, Kat? I mean, you help people find their passions. So, what are your passions?
Great. My passion. Well, I mean, a lot of them you already indicated in the biography. I love helping people find their voice, get excited, find courage within themselves, which is indirectly a consistent message that I need to hear. And sometimes I have to do a little time out and be like, hey, it was a very loud car. I'm outside. To remember that the message that I so easily can give to other people, I need to internalize as well. And so a lot of it is just self-therapy, to be quite honest with you. I love hearing people's stories, which is, why already I have a major crush on you. And and I love writing and making people laugh. And yeah, that's a biggie. And more recently, with my daughter, I found that I want to do some more advocacy with mental illness and bullying in elementary schools. So,
that's
yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Because, I mean, like everything, Kat, like sometimes when people have mental illness, sometimes they really don't know at first, right? And especially kids.
Right. Definitely. It's been a weird trip.
Yeah. And they feel weird and they don't know who to talk to. And I think that would be just so awesome if you could advocate in schools, because first of all, you make people comfortable, and you get down to the nitty gritty and tell people what's up. I mean, I love that. And especially kids, they just need that,
I agree. When I found out I was pregnant, it was a month after I got off of 6 months of disability for being diagnosed with bipolar disorder. So when that happened, I was like, I'm just now getting a hold of processing my own mental illness, and now I'm raising somebody. So no stress there. And so, exactly. And so I've tried to be really transparent with her. My daughter's 9, for those of you that don't know me personally. But there's but just to let her know that it's okay to have not okay moments. She made me cry on my bad days. I don't want to hide that from her, because I don't want her to be afraid. I think if we start as parents, or around children, to be able to share that kind of thing, it helps for the kids that are growing up, who, in my situation, nobody talked about it ever. You're just a stressed out or overdramatic kid, and which is fine, but putting a name to it, I think, is helpful.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, it just, I don't know. Even as an adult, if something isn't right, you always think you're the only one that has the issue, and you're not. But you believe it, and then you take it on, and then, gosh, all things kind of fall apart. So it's great to be an advocate, I think, in that realm, because you'll make such a yeah. So, like, this is a funny question, but how do you feel about giving back to your community? Because number one, you're very busy, like you said. You're doing a lot of fun things that you don't get paid for. So
many things that I don't get paid for.
We change that.
If anybody knows the answer to this question, please reach out to me via email.
Yes.
I do, because I love people, and because I am wildly extroverted, and even on my worst days, when I have a tendency to hole up, my husband knows to tell me to get out because I feed off the energy of other people. Which in some cases makes me a unicorn in the world of mental illness, especially anxiety. Um, um, yeah, it feeds my soul and it lifts me up. And through helping others, we help ourselves.
Isn't
So
that the truth? It's so true. We feel so much better when we're out in the world helping others because we'll bitch and complain about just a small little thing, and then somebody else has something this much bigger, and we're like, what the hell was I complaining about? You know?
pretty much. We put our house up and we sold it recently, and I was so stressed out about my messy house, like on a list. And assuming I'm the only one that ever has a messy house, and that my messy house is messier than anybody's messy house. It's always easier to clean somebody else's house than it is to clean your own.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's stress.
I agree. Um, what are some of the challenges? Because I know you don't mind talking about it. What are some of the challenges or opportunities? Because I'm thinking there's quite a few opportunities that you face living with mental illness and raising a child, right?
Challenges that I face. Well, overcommitting. Sometimes I get so enthusiastic about doing all the things, I completely forget about self-care and then wind up,
Right.
either completely depressed or running like I've taken speed, and then knowing that a crash is coming.
Yeah.
That's a biggie. I'm fortunate that I have friends that can kindly, or sometimes not kindly, bluntly let me know, hey, time for you to take a time out, or you're acting kind of erratic, which is super useful.
Yeah.
I would much rather have somebody point out something that I might not be aware of, than find out later and then live with that shame and guilt. Shame and guilt is a big one that I have to contend with. Other challenges I have, I think a lot of times it's taking all the things that I do for free and making them and wishing that they were the things that I did all the time.
Right.
Not to say that the job that I have right now isn't lovely, but
Yeah. Yeah.
get paid for what you're passionate about, I think, is the ultimate goal. And I look at a lot of younger people, and I see that they have this boldness within them that I'm still trying to seek out in my 40s. And but I also feel I'm a lot younger than someone in her 40s. So
Yeah, I know it's funny. Like I'm 59, but I think my mind's like 35 or something. It's so weird.
I thought you were younger than me, but
No.
yeah, I'd say overcoming my own self-sabotage in a lot of cases. It's
Yeah.
so easy to lift other people up, but then to stop and go, okay, you're telling people to pursue all this stuff and do all these things. Take a time out, and what can you do for yourself? So those are opportunities that I have. I just need to learn how to finesse them and ask for help in that way. So I'm getting there. I think I'm making progress.
Yeah, do you have a hard time asking for help? Because I sometimes have that problem of asking for help. I'm getting a
A
lot
lot of
better now, but I can tell you it's, and actually, when I actually say the words, can you help me? It feels so much better.
um, it. So I have a circle of people that usually I'll get to my scraping bottom, and then, for instance, I called a friend of mine a few weeks ago, right around when we closed on our house. She was in Arizona. I'm like, I'm not handling. Can I swear on here?
Yeah, you can.
I'm not handling my shit right now. And like, well, I'm not there. Have you asked for help from other people? I'm like, no. She's like, yeah, you got to do that. So I got on Facebook. I'm like, okay, I'm going to filter this so, people like my mother don't unnecessarily worry, because, you have to preface this when you've already
Right.
communicated with people who live with mental illness. You need to say, I'm in a safe space. I'm not in a place where I may harm myself, but I
Right.
need support. And so when I started this filter, before I knew it, I put out, it was, you know, Chrissy will hate this. It was vomit journaling, essentially, where I just downloaded everything. And then I started picking all the people that I thought I could trust enough to ask for help. And before I knew it, I had over 90 people on there, which to me, I mean, that's one of those personal times where you're like, well, damn.
That's so
But
awesome.
it's my friend Emily saying, hey, you got to do this, for me to actually feel like I had the permission to do it.
Right.
If that makes
Right.
sense.
Right. I do. It does make sense. But a lot of, I think, you know, it's been known in history that women do too much and they never ask for help. I don't care who you are. We never ask for help. We're Wonder Women. I mean, and sometimes we need it. We just need it.
No. Yeah, we do. Definitely. I think.
In this era.
You have an audience there even.
So this is my friend Danielle, who's gonna. Yep. Danielle came over earlier and was actually pulling all of the hairs off my sweater, because when I'm stressed, sometimes she's like, I'm going to be your personal lint roller. So now you are. Yep. She's got her iron serpent.
Love it.
Sees my claws getting low.
Kind of like when a dog. It's kind of like when a dog goes to the vet. The hair falls out. All right.
I've been very busy. You're welcome.
So
Okay.
fun.
I know I'm really loving, and Danielle
Okay.
is one of those people.
Well, it's nice to have Danielle there supporting you tonight, really. So thanks, Danielle. Thank you very
Can't
much,
hear her.
Danielle.
She's very approving in all of the floors. So
I have the headphones in, so she's guessing what you're.
Oh,
it was
so
very
all she sees is this.
Yes. Exactly.
So, talking about people that like to please other people, they don't care if anything comes their way because we like to people please. What would you tell other fellow people pleasers?
You're not alone. Try not to apologize so much. You can't do everything. Tell your fellow people pleasers that, because they probably aren't telling themselves that. That sometimes you have to let other people down to support yourself.
Right.
And by doing so, you haven't failed anybody. Failure has been a word that I've carried with me as a crutch for, over 20 years. If I let someone down, I've failed. I didn't graduate from college due to anxiety issues ongoing, and I kept trying to go back and then kept not being able to complete it. And as a result, I labeled myself a failure. And I think toward the end, I really was just trying to do it because I felt I owed it to my parents.
Right.
And
wasn't for you.
And, no, and I'm a successful individual now. I don't have my degree. At this point, I have no desire to get a degree, maybe someday. But coming to peace with that was hard. And
but you don't have to have a degree to have passions about things, right? I mean, passion is passion.
Right, exactly. And just because you don't fit into one particular format, like I found out, what was it called? Gonna forget the name. Writer's Lab. I'm gonna come back to you and send it to you later. But I found out that I really work well with online, like face-to-face kind of chats. I did a memoir writing and about essays that was really phenomenal. And it's non-traditional, but it worked for me. So on a tangent as far as the people pleasing, but you have to figure out what works best for you, and that by default means somebody else is not going to agree with it, but that doesn't mean you're wrong.
Right. I've worked in the school system for many years. In fact, I teach now online, and all of us learn different, and the problem is that we get pigeonholed into a word like, oh, you're ADD.
Right.
I've never heard that word so much in my life as I have in the past since I've been back in the States. Oh, she's ADD. I'm like, what? What is that about? I mean, so when I worked in the schools, I worked in special education with LD and ADD kids, and they just learned different. That's it. They were so smart. But everybody wants to give them a little pill so that they can calm down at school.
Right. Well, and it's interesting that you bring that up because my daughter was diagnosed with ADHD in this past year, and which I'll bring up at some point. Stigma for medication. I do think that there is some over medicating of individuals, but I also think that there are some people that distinctly need it and that they shouldn't be ashamed that they have
Agree.
learning curve with me and ADHD. She's really fortunate in that she's in a program where like the kids can sit on those bouncy ball things instead of traditional chairs, or she gets like one of those, God, what are they called? These little balls with all the like spiky little things all the way around them. I want to call them squeak. Those are the things that you use to squish. Do you know what I'm talking about? All right, Danielle is not helpful. But she can pull on those instead of like she has skin picking is one of her side effects.
Well, you know what I've seen since I've been back too is the fidget spinners.
Yeah, I don't get those.
I don't understand.
They were supposed to be, it became super fun for everybody, and I understand the need to have something that's distracting that you can get some energy out on the side, but the intention I'm sure that the people had at the beginning has been taken over by making.
I'm sure it has. Yeah, I'm sure it has.
I don't blame it, Yeah. So.
What have you learned about yourself in the past year?
Past year, I have learned that I need to work on delegating tasks. And this kind of goes back to the people pleasing and the I can handle everything. I don't want to put anybody out. I produced my Brave about a little more than a year ago. The first
Tell
one
us
in Denver.
About that. Will you explain what that is?
Yeah, This Is My Brave is a show that was developed in Washington, D.C. by Jennifer Marshall. She's the executive producer.
Okay.
And it is a performance where people with lived experience with mental illness or family members of people with lived, blah, 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 jargon, and can come and share their stories through either essay or original music or slam poetry. Wow. And I have a really significant theatrical comedic background, and with my experience with Ignite, and the fact that I could take my theatrical side and then my mental health advocacy side and marry those two into one glorious thing really spoke to me. And I decided at the end of the last year of 2015 that I wanted to do something bigger. And so I told myself I wanted to produce a show, and this showed up on the internet, and I wanted to do it. So, and it was brilliant. I met so many cool people. But no idea. If your audience members have not seen it, I would encourage you to Google it. All of the shows are on YouTube, and they're from all over the country. So
I think, do I have that information?
Probably not.
Okay. Yeah.
Organizational skills. It's so I'll send it to you. It's thisismybrave.org.
Yeah,
absolutely. And but it was wonderful, and it was so wildly stressful because I didn't, again, asking for help. I did okay in some areas. There were some when I could have taken a lot off my shoulders and benefited other people. Has friends that just showed up. And that instead it's a very popular place.
Yeah, I know. I used to live down the street, and I love the Thin Man. I love it. I love the Thin Man.
Next time you're in town. So I'm going to have to probably migrate shortly too, because I just got a battery saver notification. Well planning again. So gosh, the show itself, I did the first one by myself in May, and then Lauren Gardner was the primary producer of the fall show because it actually came back to Denver again since it was so well received. And I watched her, and she developed a production team. I was like, oh, other people. That is
That's so awesome. That's so awesome.
I would say definitely learning how to delegate in this past year has been significant. And I really had to embrace change in this past year because, like I mentioned earlier, sold my house. I have never lived anywhere as long as I have in our current home, which has been 9 years. And
And where are you going?
transition. Oh, I'm still here. For those of you who are not in the market, start drinking. You know, you're time to sell, but then you realize, because I live in a townhome right now, I was like, I really want our own house. So we sold ours in a day.
Yeah.
A day.
I sold ours in a week. Yeah.
And then, but then finding something else that was suitable, that wasn't a fixer upper for the girl that does not play well, that is not really beneficial. So we're living maybe 3 miles away. And we're going to rent for a year. Also was like a mental.
You're just gonna check it out. I think that's a great idea. It's a great idea. It'll take the stress off of you for a minute.
Right. And so for the next 15 minutes, I have no debt.
No desk?
Debt. D-E-B-T. Debt.
Oh, debt. Perfect. So besides wine, what brings you joy?
Well, Danielle brings me joy. My friends bring me joy. Seeing people be successful brings me joy. My family brings me joy. The fact that it's not humid in Denver brings me joy. I grew up in Kansas City.
Oh yeah,
very hot.
Very hot. Like Thailand, humid.
I can't even imagine. Trying new things and actually succeeding and surprising myself makes me really happy. Doing things that I'm scared of. I hate during the process, but when I emerge on the other side, I'm like, well, goddamn, that just happened and I'm okay.
I did good. That's right. Yeah.
It does come down to that point where it's like, I survived. Even if it's like, I had somebody walk through my house and I did not perish because my house is not as clean as it should have been.
Yeah.
My feelings are in make me feel like it's significant. Yeah.
Living in Thailand, that really, that was, there were so many aha moments about just the things that you're talking about. Like really focusing on what's important. Are you gone?
Sure.
Are you gone?
Gone. Wait, where are you? I'm here.
Come back. Come back.
Away.
Here you are.
I'm becoming a magician.
But, the thing about it is that when we're in the States, we're given so many things that are supposed to be important, and they're really not. They're just really not. And they stress the shit out of us. And when you're in a foreign country, when I was in Thailand, there was no stress about anything. People smile every day.
Oh, I'm like skeptical right now.
It's wonderful. Oh. So what do you do for self-care then? Because it sounds like you have so much going on, Kat. So what do you do for self-care?
I get massages every once in a while. And gosh, I go sushi. I love sushi. So next time you're in Denver, we're gonna have sushi.
I'm coming in August. We're gonna have sushi. Yeah.
I read a lot.
Yeah.
And I like a lot of personal memoir.
Oh, wow.
And that helps me to actually take time getting away from technology, which that's a big thing. What are other things? I like to float, which is unfamiliar, but it's like sensory deprivation tanks.
Yes,
and
I've heard about them. Yeah,
I've done it in a while, to be honest. But yeah, that's huge. I love doing that. Getting outside.
Yes.
I can't. I have. I'm trying to lose weight right now. I'm overweight, And so living in Colorado, people are like, oh, you should do hiking. I'm like, that is too overwhelming. So this summer I'm really focusing on nature walks.
Good. Yeah, but nature is perfect.
Because, I do have a tendency with a lot of things. It's like, well, I want to learn how to play piano, and in a week I want to play Chopin. Much like I want to age, so clearly in 2 months I will be down 80 pounds. And not to make light of that sort of journey, but I have a tendency to be impatient with myself. So putting myself in sort of a personal timeout is useful and necessary. One of the things that I do with my therapist is EMDR.
Yes.
I'm going to get it wrong.
I know about that.
Movement desensitization and reprocessing.
Yes.
Again, good points for saying that into my ear. I do a lot of that to help me. And I had only heard of it before in reference to PTSD,
Yes.
but it actually is certainly a really functional tool with my anxiety.
Yes.
But it's remembering to do it, especially in times where it feels like it's a crisis period when you're supposed to.
Right.
When you're having a good, I've scheduled in here that I'm supposed to spend 3 minutes doing this now. You're sobbing and you're like, I don't know what to do. And, it's another big thing that's happened. My therapist of 10 years has told me he's retiring.
Oh, that's very scary. That's very scary when you've depended on someone to get you through some really tough times. That's scary.
My daughter. So,
yeah, very scary.
As a person, negative experience with a mental health doctor before, it's very hard for me to trust people. And but again, recognizing that things change and you have to work with them. It was funny when he told me, it was like, oh, bottom dropped out. And then I told all my friends, I'm like, oh my God, Mark is retiring. And a couple of them were smart enough to go, well, when? I'm like, next March. That's not the point. Because that's the man for recognizing that I need that long to process that he will be leaving.
Oh, bless his heart.
You should know.
Oh my gosh. So you connect with people with mental illness. You connect with people on Ignite Denver. You connect with people on it is the brave.
This is
Yeah, you connect with all of those people. And so how do you advocate for them? How do you advocate for yourself and others through all the things that you do? Because, my God, you're doing so much. You need an assistant.
That's so true. I live vicariously through a lot of the people that I meet, and I gain strength and determination through a lot of people with whom my path crosses.
Right.
That was actually wrong in the English language, but
right.
Determination. So just find and I love expanding my circle. As an example, there was somebody that I met a year ago, whose name is Reginald Hubbard. So if he's watching this later, he can find out.
Reginald,
I met him at an event.
There, say hello. Come on.
So, he might not be. He's a very busy man, but he met me the day after a friend of mine had my vernacular is not going to be great here. There was a suicide attempt that fortunately was not successful, and some friends of mine encouraged me to get out, and I did, but I was emotionally very fragile. And this guy who I'd never met before, my phone's about to die. I'm just warning you now. I'm at 5%.
Okay.
And I forgot to charge her, Kathy. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay because you're going to come back on again. It doesn't matter.
He recognized it. He's like, I need your phone number. I'm going to check in on you. And this man in the past year, about every, 2 to 3 weeks, legit checks in on me. And he didn't know me from Adam. We spent 2 hours together in August of last year, July of last year. I actually just saw him at Ignite Denver last Thursday. He was in town from DC. And knowing that those kind of people exist reminds me that I can be that kind of person for others as well. And I think we all need those reminders that simple gestures can mean the world to somebody and can change the trajectory of a person's life.
They totally do. I totally agree with you. And so because your computer's going to die, we're going to wrap it up here. I have one more question for you, and I just really and you better answer it.
No pressure. Hang on.
I said I wasn't going to say that. That was just a joke, really. So, what would you tell a younger version of yourself, be it a child or young adult? What would you tell them?
Asking for help sooner. Start advocating for yourself sooner. If you know you're good at something, continue to be good at something. Don't feel like you need to be like. I'm going to be specific. I was really good in theater, but I was told that wasn't really transferable in the real world, and so I tried to swoosh it down, like try and figure out, well, how can I fit it into the business world, or maybe I can major. This is a college thing again, and I set it aside like it was something that wasn't useful.
Right.
And I wish I hadn't then because I think I missed out on some opportunities because of it. I mean, not that I'm regretting where I'm at now,
Right.
but if you feel passion for something, pursue it, and don't worry so much about the opinions of others. Do it as respectfully as you can, but to persevere. So, and to do it with love and accept help when it's offered to you legitimately. So that would be huge.
Oh, that's huge. And if you want to get a hold of Kat, you can do that by her email. If you've seen this, and I know that people will be seeing it throughout the week because it gets posted on YouTube, it gets posted on so many different arenas. So, you can, yeah, you're fabulous. And you can email her at Katwell, KATWELL @gmail.com. She's got a couple of websites. It's mamandcheese.com, which is MAAMANDCHEESE.com. And we didn't even get to talk about that, but you're going to come back another time, so it doesn't matter. And mentallyspoken.com. She's on Twitter. She's on Instagram at Kat, KATATWELL. And as you can see, she's one open chick who will talk about anything just for the pure fact that it might help you or me. And I so appreciate that. I cannot begin to tell you.
You're lovely, and I can't wait to speak with you when I have my charger. One should.
It's so great that we even had this amount of time because you are really a force to be reckoned with. And man, I'm so glad to know you. And I'm so glad that I'm living the world with people, especially like you. So thank you, Kat.
Thank you. Can't wait to eat sushi with you in August.
Yes, we will. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. This will be on my page. This will be on Kat's page. If you couldn't make it tonight, gosh, I hope you tune in and listen to the wonderful interview from Kat Atwell and all that she is and all that she does. So thank you so much, Kat.
Grateful. Can't wait to get to know you more. Thank you.
Bye.